Y'all, it's your girl Nene, and I am back with another video. This time I'm in my bedroom. But this is a video that I was kind of hesitant about, but I always feel like God puts us through situations to help other people and get other people through their like a similar situation that we've been through or going through. So I said, hey, why not? If you watch my About Me video, you know that I have a son. He is nonverbal. And I guess the conversation that I had with the doctor today kind of sparked this video, like to help other people that are dealing with it, because I don't know, it's like it was on my heart. But it's weird when you have a kid that's nonverbal, because you constantly just wonder, like, why, what did I do wrong? Or it's like you have this constant battle within yourself where you're like, I wouldn't say you kind of feel like you're failing as a parent, but it's like you kind of beat yourself up wondering, like, if I would have did this better, would the result be different? But in all reality, it's just not like that. Like, if you have searched this topic, or if you're just watching for support, it's definitely something that it feels good to know that somebody can understand, what you're trying to figure out, what you're trying to understand. Because I was once that girl, so that's what kind of, made me want to make this video, because I was once that mother that was Googling, and I'm watching every video I can on nonverbal kids and early signs of nonverbal autism, like just constantly just trying to find answers. But it's good to know that you're not alone when you're dealing with something like this. I had an over the phone evaluation with the doctor, and like the questions they asked me, it was it was kind of making me emotional, because a lot of the answers were no, like, no, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, he's not doing that. And like, it's not embarrassing, it's more so like reality setting in, if that makes sense, because it's like, I know he's supposed to be doing these things, but he doesn't, and it gets rough, it definitely gets rough. And I know if you're a parent and you're watching this, and I'm pretty sure you're experiencing the emotions that I was experiencing, beforehand. They're definitely, like, the feelings of it are definitely getting better, but it's not always easy. I watch stories and YouTube videos on mothers with kids that have nonverbal autism, and it's just like, it just make you feel good, like, okay, I'm not alone. And then you see how they're handling it, it makes you just understand, like, God definitely makes every single person, in their own special way. But yeah, like, a lot of the questions that they were asking me on the phone, like, my answer was no. And I'm like, oh, just reality. They asked me like the signs that, made me kind of wonder about him being like, having nonverbal autism. And, the worst thing to do is to compare your child, your child's development to another kid or other kids. And that was something I was doing. But in certain cases, it will help if you're kind of on top of that. Like, okay, your child isn't walking by the time they're 3, when it's like beyond the limits of, the milestone, then that's when you can kind of question it. But I mean, if your child is 8 months and another child started doing something at 7 months, you know, that's kind of close. That's not really nothing to compare. But when it comes to comparing things, like, I noticed that I was doing that. And it's like I had to stop doing that. You know, just because this child is doing this doesn't mean my child is supposed to be doing it. But then as he got older, I'm like, okay, something is just not right. I knew something just was not right. So I kind of like just wanted to get more information. You know, in my area, it's a small area. It's not hard. I mean, it's not easy to just find help. So of course, I had like a couple clients, couple friends, like, give me information on where I could go, you know, to get them evaluated, to find answers, you know, just different things that would help me along my journey. But I feel like the signs were like, oh, I actually had a situation with this specific sign. I had one of my relatives, well, like a close friend, she had messaged me when my son was, I don't even know if he was 1 year, but he was a few months old. And she had kind of brought it up to me. She wasn't disrespectful or anything, but she kind of had brought it up to me about him not making eye contact. And I like, now I feel bad about it, like really bad, but y'all, I got upset with her. I did, because as a parent, a fresh parent, you know, my first child, I'm like in my 20s, like I don't know nothing about a child, like nothing. I'm already scared. So of course my first reaction is to get upset. Like literally, I'm calling my mom, I'm crying. Like, but she was like, I noticed the last 2 times I've seen him, he wasn't making eye contact. So, oh my God, I'm going crazy. Like, it was a weird feeling, but like I said, now I feel really bad. And I did apologize to her probably like a year ago, because I didn't talk to her for a long time. And I'm pretty sure she understood, but it's like, that's not nothing easy to take in. Yeah, she was like, he wasn't making eye contact because, and she was like, that was a early sign of autism. So like I said, it's already scary being a parent. And then the fact that you like, okay, so I'm about to be a parent to a, you know, special kid. Like, can I handle this? Can I do this? Like, I'm very strong, but certain situations, it's just like, it's scary, because it's like, you don't know the first step. You don't know if you're doing it right. You don't know what you're doing wrong. Like, yeah, if you're a parent, you know where I'm coming from. But yeah, so it's like the eye contact thing. He honestly just started making eye contact probably about a year ago when he turned 3. And, you know, he's definitely progressing. I'm glad. I mean, I'm not shocked, because I'm pretty sure that, you know, happens with all kids. You're not going to stay on the same level. There's going to be some type of progress. But, yeah, so it's eye contact. Of course, like, he walks on his tippy toes. That's like I don't know, that's kind of a symptom, I mean, a sign where you can't really base autism off the way they walk, because you have people that are not autistic and they walk on their tippy toes. But there was a sign that he was doing, along with the other, you know, not making eye contact and stuff. And hint by, of course, like I said, he's nonverbal. He does not talk. And, you know, it's weird, like, when I see other people post their kids and they be young, they be talking, I mean, full conversation. It's just like, wow, you know, I look forward to that day where I can have a full conversation with my child. Like, I talk to him like he talked back to me. He doesn't talk back to me, but you can't tell me that my boy is not understanding. And I had a client tag me in a post like that, and it really, you know, changed my perspective of things. It was like, just because your child is nonverbal does not mean he or she does not hear you. And that, like, really stuck in my head, because I'm like, that makes sense. You know, he definitely listens. He might not understand me fully, but he definitely listens. Another thing, like, he didn't answer to his name. Like, aside from him not talking, he did not really answer to his name. So that was like the sign where I'm like, okay, I know something isn't right. Like, regardless of anything, of whatever anybody tell you, as a mother, you know when something is not right with their child. Like, you know when they're delayed. You just know when it's just something, you know. You can't put your finger on it, but you know it's something. And yeah, he didn't answer to his name. Like, we would call him, talk to him all the time. He was not answering, you know, tell him simple things to do. He was not doing that. And it's just not that, it's not as easy as I feel like I make it look. I make it look good, but it's definitely a struggle. And I mean, it gets easier as they get older because you kind of have more knowledge about it. You kind of understand them more. You know that, you know why they're whining more, because that's their only way of communicating. They can't tell you that something is hurting. They can't, you know, and then it gets hard because it's so many things that a child can tell you. And when your child does not talk, it's like you literally are playing a guessing game. Like, you have to just have that special connection with your child where you know their cries, you know their gestures, you understand the small things that other people may not. But yeah, he didn't answer to his name, but you know, he just started answering to his name, I would say, when he was about 3.5. Something so small that excites me so much, like to the point I would just call him for no reason, just so he could look at me. But he says words, but it's not like a conversation. Like, you can't sit and have a conversation with him because it just doesn't work like that. But we're definitely coming along. This is just the beginning of the journey. Like, he's almost 4, so you know, it's about time for school and stuff. It's just I just wanted to make this video. So I know, like I said, I know it's a mother out there that was in the same position that I was in. And I just want you to know that, you know, it's not easy, but it definitely gets better because you definitely learn to understand your child more and more every day. It's already rough out here being a parent and with like a normal child. So definitely having a special needs child is like, it's 10 times worse because it's like people are cruel. This world is very cruel. Like, and as a mother, you want to protect your child from anything that you can, the best way that you can. I mean, you know, people do not treat special needs kids like they should. People make it like they have a heart. You see people making it like they care, but they're just saying that because that's what they're supposed to say. That's the normal thing that you're supposed to be like. You're supposed to be this kind person to special needs kids, but you're really not that person. Like, how do you really feel? It's scary, and it makes you more defensive. Like, it really does, because you don't want nobody to look at your child wrong. Like, you don't want nobody to talk to your child wrong. You don't want nobody to misunderstand your child. Like, you just want your child to live the like most normal life that they can. And being that they are nonverbal, it's like it's up to you to be their voice. And it, like I said, it gets easier. Don't get discouraged, and don't ever question why God gave you a child the way that they are. If they are nonverbal, if they are autistic, any special needs like Down syndrome, like sicknesses, anything, like don't ever question why God gave you that type of child, because guess what? He gave you that type of child because he knew that you could be the best mother to that type of child. A lot of parents cannot handle kids like that. A lot of parents give up. They will put their kids up for adoption. They will mistreat them. Like, but when if you're a parent like me, you love your child so much, like you would take a bullet for that. I would do anything for my son. Anything. And I'm gonna always be his voice to protect him, make sure he's good at all times. like I said, it's already rough enough being a parent, but being a parent to a special needs child is definitely, it's up there. It's up there, but you got it. You got it. Like, you definitely got it. I mean, this is coming from a parent. Like, that's not my nephew. That's not my cousin. That's not somebody I know. That's my son. You'll have a lot of people that, you know, feel like they can relate because they have a family member like that or a cousin. But as a mother, witnessing it firsthand, like, dealing with it every day, like, I'm telling you, I understand it. I understand it. You have to stay strong for your kid. Verbal, nonverbal, any kid. You just have to be strong for your child. You have to be that, you know, person that your child can lean on when they're not strong. But yeah, this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a very long time. I just been kind of nervous, you know. It's not an easy subject to talk about. Kind of talk to people about it, but of course they say what they're supposed to say, you know. It'll be okay, it'll get better, and they're not lying, but I just want y'all to hear it from a mother of a nonverbal child. You got this, Mom. I promise you got it. We got to stick together out here. We really do. Special needs parents, we have to stick together because this world is just not it. And we have to do everything we can to protect our children. But I hope I kind of touched bases with the basics of this. Of course, there's more that I could talk about, but I'll make other videos. This is probably the longest video I've ever made, but it's kind of the most special video of them all. And if you watch this video all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you are having a marvelous day.